Hey everyone, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another plan with me to share with you all. And this week we are planning for the week of June 5th to June 11th using the ScribblePrintsCo 8-year mystery kit, if I am not mistaken, which I really hope I'm not. Mystery kits are a little harder to find by name because they're not on the site anymore, but I'm pretty sure this was last year's mystery kit. I don't think I've had it long enough for it to be the 7th one, and the 9th one just came out. So I think it's pretty safe to say this is the 8-year mystery kit. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love the purples, lots and lots of purples, and this hot pink sort of like color pop and color, and all the 90s girl things in this kit. It is so stinking cute. And then of course it has hollow foil and flowers and confetti and little aliens and really fun quote boxes and all those things. So super exciting kit to use for a not so exciting week. I really got burnt out this week. I usually try to be a little bit optimistic when I know I have to work 5 days. I know most people work 5 days a week, but to put it into perspective, I also work longer days. I know people work longer days than I do, but I'm used to working 4 days. My days are longer than most, and I have a very long commute going to work and leaving work. So my days are long. I think it's like exactly 12 hours that I am just gone. But yes, all of that to say, I am not complaining. It's just this week really got to me. I'm usually a little bit more optimistic, like I was saying, about days that I work, weeks that I work 5 days. But like I was just getting beat down left and right every single day, and my morale was crumbling. I think it gets worse the next week. It doesn't get worse. Like this is the peak worst of it, but like the next week isn't better. I'm just like crawling to the weekend. And now current Jess is also working another 5-day week. See, I'm yawning. Current Jess has a headache, probably a sinus infection. I don't think we've reached ear infection yet, but sinus infection for show. No, wait. Headache for show, sinus infection maybe. And I'm just so exhausted. I did get enough sleep last night, but I'm just so fatigued, like extremely so. I don't know why. It never makes sense when you get like enough sleep and then you're just fatigued. So it's like it can only be one of two things. Actually, it could just mean that you're sick. It doesn't always have to mean that, but I feel like in my situation, it pretty much does mean that. I'm also coming off recording the last voiceover. So this is like back-to-back voiceovers. I've never done this before. So I just finished recording the voiceover for the Sunny Days kit. But like to you guys, it's a couple of days. For me, it's been like 10 minutes. My mom gave me strawberries. My mom brought me tea. So that was really nice. It made me feel a little better, but I'm so tired. It also doesn't help that I took a melatonin at 9 p.m. and it's now 9:24. So I remarked that I was burnt out with a giant sticker. I think I made a script for burnt out, but then saw this big kahuna of a sticker and was like, yeah, I'm going to use this one. And then I wrote that it was the weekend of me time because I was just like absolutely no plans. I did actually try to make plans. I wanted to go see the Across the Spider-Verse movie, but you'll soon see that my plans fell through. Okay, we'll get to that. So starting on Monday, the first thing I marked was that I published a plan with me. I think this was my birthday spread. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was my birthday spread because I know I finally posted that and then there was still quite some time before I started slowly pumping out my plan with me's again. But yeah, that was my 30th birthday spread. Then I marked that I had work this day. I did not make my lunches over the weekend because not like I said, but I had gone to the beach the weekend prior, and then I was catching up on a lot of planner things and then didn't make any of my lunches. So the goal was to make my lunches this day when I had gotten back. So I got the salad. I also had a follow-up with my neurologist after getting like a cranial test and the MRI, and I got the best news. Nothing is wrong with me. I had to pay a copay for that. They couldn't have just called me and told me that everything was fine. They basically said that my headaches are too sporadic for it to be like a problem they can look into, and that like I should just take the medicine they prescribe me whenever I get a headache or I'm on the verge of a migraine. But if they happen more frequently, like 2 to 3 times a week, consistently for like 3 months, then to give them a call back. I was like, cool, thank you. What a waste of time. They could have Zoomed me. They could have just called me and sent me my reports. But no, they just wanted my copay. I'm sure that's not why, but I'm also sure like, why couldn't they just call me? So yeah, I guess that was good news. It was just whatever, seemed more like a waste of my time. And then I started listening to this audiobook on the drive home, but I was listening to Better Than the Movies on Audible. It was a recommendation from Kirsten. She really liked this book and she had texted me about it, and I was listening to it. The main character annoyed the absolute ever-living shit out of me. And I was just rooting for the guy. Loki wanted the book to be written in his perspective. Kirsten did tell me it was a YA, and then for some reason I just glazed over it, and then I realized the characters are like 17 years old, and I'm like, younger me would have eaten this book up, but 30-year-old me is like, why are they so stupid? Why is she so insecure? Like, my God. And then I'm like, she's only 17, 18 at that. Like, stop it. But it was like it ended real cute. I gave it 4 stars because there were parts of it that I really enjoyed and it was really funny. All the other characters were dope. I wish we heard more about them, but the main character annoyed me just a bit too often for me to be like, I love this book so much. And I told Kirsten as much. I ended up texting her and I was like, hey, listen, did this character also annoy the shit out of you? So I was listening to Better Than the Movies on my commute home. And then I think on my commute to work, but it didn't fit anywhere else in the day. Then I finally got home and I meal prepped my lunches and got to doing more planner things and putting down more stickers. So then on Tuesday, more of Better Than the Movies. I was listening to it on my commute to work. Also, for some reason, the first Better Than the Movies script that I made all peeled off as one sticker, but the subsequent ones, the Better the Movies, all come out as one sticker, but then comes out on its own as well. So I had to do them separately. I don't know. I literally copy pasted the same script. But for some reason, only that first one came out as the same script. Anyway, then I marked work. I also got coffee at lunch. Usually I'm the one who makes the second or third part of coffee at work, but I just did not want the Folgers coffee. And I wanted some Colombian roast. So I went downstairs to the deli and got a Colombian roast coffee. It was delicious. It was so unnecessary. I did not need that caffeine, but I wanted it. Then I got home and my, the book that I had ordered on Amazon when I had gone to Barnes & Noble 2 weeks before came in the mail. It's romantic comedy. It was the hardback one that was $15 cheaper on Amazon. So that book came in. It's still sitting on top of my drawers by my door. I want to read it, but there's so many books I want. I want to read so many things now that I'm so overwhelmed and reading nothing. But yeah, it's there. I'm excited to read it. I think I will get to it eventually. Also, current Jess might buy a Kindle after she's done recording this voiceover. So I'm thinking I might download ACOTAR on the Kindle. And so I will pause my ACOTAR reading, even though I'm only 43 pages in. But it'll come in soon enough. So maybe I'll read romantic comedy. I don't know. My TBR keeps changing. I literally recorded a voiceover yesterday for the Under the Waves one where I'm mentioning that I'm going to read Lore Olympus, which I already read. Amazing. Love it. And then I was going to read ACOTAR, but now I'm just like switching things up again, and it's just a mess. But I'm trying. I'm really trying. There's so many books I need to get through. And the Kindle is not going to help me with that. Anyway, who was I fooling with that next sentence? Okay, so I got home. I was remembered that there were more episodes of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I think the show had ended at this point, but I was like 5 episodes behind. So I watched some episodes then, took a shower, finally properly washed my hair, which is usually the only time shower time gets marked if there's also nothing else going on. And then I started pulling a lot of the stickers for the Grease and I think just Grease. For the Grease plan with me. I think I started this day marking anytime I'm pulling stickers and only pulling stickers with play with stickers. And then anytime I'm like filming the plan with me or putting down the base for something, planning time, which I think is smart on the part. Smart for voiceover Jess, who needs to differentiate what the heck happened. Not that you guys really, like, I mean, like, I played with my planner, like, I did planner things, but I feel like if you're seeing the same thing consistently over day after day, like, maybe, like, a little bit of detail might be nice, so there's that detail. Moving on to Wednesday, again, listened to Better Than the Movies, went to work, same old, and actually, this was, like, the second day that we had really bad air coming down from the Canadian wildfires. The night before, so Tuesday when I had gotten home, everything was, like, yellow and smelled like a massive barbecue campfire situation. And then Wednesday was the day that the air was really bad. I actually wore a mask on my commute to work. And even while I was working at like one point, we had looked out the window and everything was just orange and brown, and it was really scary. You could actually smell the smoke on a lot of my patients as they were coming in. First of all, I don't know why they were coming in. Like, why would you go out if you did not have to? A cleaning is not an emergency, but like, I get it. People have appointments and we book up in advance. Hair flip. So I get why they came in, but like, you could literally smell the smoke on them. And a lot of us started to cough, which kind of sucked. But this lasted for a couple of days and it didn't alleviate until like Friday, but this was the day that it was worse, and that's the day I marked it. Then I got home and I had some Happy Mail. It was a long sleeve shirt that I had ordered from EDC. It was like EDC 23 Las Vegas Speedway, and had like the whole lineup on the back. I had bought a like a baseball jersey at the event itself, but I was like, I'm never going to wear this. The only reason I bought that baseball jersey was because it said 93 on it. So I was born in 1993. So I was like, I have to have that. But then I was like, I want something that I could just like wear like around the house. So I bought a long sleeve shirt when I got home. So that came in the mail, and then I FaceTimed Nick for the night and we watched some more Jersey Shore, which was nice because he had his whole computer set up ready to go. So we were able to continue our like movie Wednesday FaceTime date. Then on Thursday, I watched the final episode of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on my commute to work. I also booked my flights to Disney, which is a very exciting. And then I went to work, which was same old. And then when I got home, I think I had like a lot of plans to do things, but I ended up watching Shiny Happy People on Amazon Prime, which is like a documentary about the Duggar kids and the Duggar family, the 19 kids and counting people. Very fascinating, very intriguing, so much I did not know. If you were a fan of that show, I highly recommend watching this documentary. It was so captivating and disturbing, and like, I literally could not stop watching it. I watched basically the whole thing in this night. A little bit of the last episode I watched on my commute the next day, but still, wow. I needed a swallow. That was not like a purposeful pause. I needed to swallow. Then I took a bath this night, and I also did some more planning things. And here I wrote type up scripts, which I guess I wrote more scripts than I needed to print out, which is nuts considering how many scripts I had already typed out. And I think to catch up with all of these spreads, I had 10 like quarter sheets of scripts which is insane. Usually I have one per week, and I had 10. So yeah, Friday was my extra day of work. Yay, Friday. I was so excited when it was Friday. This day did go by fast, and I was really looking forward to it ending because I was going to go take myself out on a little date to see the Spider-Man's Across the Spider-Verse movie, but my body had other plans because on my commute home, all day I was fine. And then on my commute home, I started to get really sharp pains in my stomach. And I was like, this is weird. And I was like, maybe I'm just sitting funny. I started to like adjust on the bus. And then I was like, oh, my stomach does not feel good. Oh no. Also, mind you, my mom was away in Delaware this whole week. So I have to like walk home. Usually she'll come get me from where I stop. But like, I had to walk home, which didn't help with the smoke and stuff. But I did not feel good. And then I got home and I spent far too long on the toilet. And also, the only reason I marked it in my planner is because I remembered I had these really funny Once More with Love munchkins that are like on the toilet. So I was like, I feel like I have to mark the occasion, especially since I'm taking out like a whole movie marquee thing of like taking myself on a date. I pushed the movie back to Saturday, realized I had a nail appointment, and then I was just like, I was not meant to see Across the Spider-Verse in theaters. So hopefully when it comes out on streaming platforms, I can watch it, or maybe like I can make room for it. But June has a lot of movies coming out, and I just don't know how I'm going to keep up at this point with like all these plans I have like every weekend. But yeah, so I marked my little tummy ache. I also went to Home Goods to get a new trash can for underneath my desk because my other one, the cover of it had broke. R.I.P. to that trash can. Has been with me since I lived in Austin, collecting all my sticker scraps. And then I went on a snack run. I got like chips, pretzels, Sour Patch Kids, Sour Peaches. I got so much stuff. I also got Lunchables because with my stomach ache, I didn't know what to eat. Oh, I got Lunchables. Yes. I got Lunchables. I ate those. And then I started watching Mer People on Netflix because I love mermaids and I was really fascinated about this whole show based on mermaids. It was enjoyable. I liked it. I wish they had more episodes and more detailed things, but I liked it. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Yeah. So watch Mer People. And then in my Instagram group chat with my friends, we were like talking about getting bubble tea, and I was like, low key, I was gonna get bubble tea, like Uber Eats or like delivered to my house. And then Erica was like, oh, let me go get some. And then Tyler got on the train. Erica picked up Tyler. Erica and Tyler went to go get bubble tea and then dropped it off at my house. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And then my sister had posted something in the group chat of food, but I thought it was Tyler and Erica, and they went to get food without me. And I told them, like, I relayed the story to them, and they're like, do you want food? And I had been dying for weeks for a Crunchwrap Supreme from Taco Bell. And you're like, Jessica, you literally had a stomach ache to the point that you're marking it with a toilet munchkin, and you went to Taco Bell? Yes, I did. And guess what? I felt better afterwards. Not because I had gone back to the bathroom, but I just had felt better. Like there was food in my system. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but Crunchwrap Supremes cure all. I also had a Baja Blast. So maybe that had something to do with it. But it was great and so spontaneous, which I'm never that spontaneous. Literally put on a pair of leggings and like walked out the door with them. Got Taco Bell, came back. But it was nice. So then on Saturday is my first like just full day of nothing day to myself. I went to go get my nails done again because they were just way too long. I did not cut them short enough 2 weeks prior to this. Usually I'll wait like 4 weeks before I get my nails done, but I had to cut them. They were getting in the way. It was really hard to work. None of my patients complained about it, or I'd never poked them, but it was bad. Then I went to go pick up some groceries. I was going to cook myself some pasta. I also stopped at Bath and Body Works because I had a gift card and they were having this like semi-annual sale. So I got a lot of candles, car fresheners, and some shower gel. And then I continued my Twilight binge because Hulu finally put the rest of the series up on their streaming platform, whereas before they only had Twilight and nothing else, which didn't make any sense. And then, of course, since I had time to myself, I spent basically the whole day planning and and catching up and trying to see how many spreads I can get through and try to film much of the plan with me's as I could. And then at the end of the night, me and Nick watched some more Jersey Shore because I was home, he was home. So we were like, yeah, let's have a second little FaceTime date this week. Then last but not least, we have Sunday. I binge watched a lot of YouTube videos in the morning whilst I did more planner things, filmed more of the plan with me's, pulled more stickers, lots of things. And then I finally published my Greece plan with me, which if you missed, it's somewhere up on my channel. And then I hung out with my dad on this day and he wanted to go to the movies. Well, I wanted to go to the movies to see Spider-Man, but he wanted to see the Fast and Furious movie. Well, he likes to see action movies. So I mentioned Fast and Furious and he was like, let's go watch that. And I was like, okay. But he had misunderstood my okay, thinking that I had picked the Spider-Man movie to watch. So we're sitting there watching Fast and Furious and he goes, wait, this is not Spider-Man. And I said, no, it's not. You wanted to see the Fast and Furious movie. He goes, oh, okay. And then Alamo was doing like a recap of all of the other 9 Fast and Furious movies. And my dad was basically admitting he had never seen the Fast and Furious movies in full, like none of them. And I was like, okay. So after we had gone to the movies, me and my dad said goodnight. We were very tired. I got home and I ran to meal prep my lunches to get that out of the way. I chatted with Nick on the phone for a little bit. Surprise, surprise. I can't remember what we talked about. And then I recorded the voiceover for the Vegas, not the Vegas. I'm assuming it's the Vegas plan with me. Yeah, I think it was the Vegas plan with me. Who knows? I can't remember. So yes, that is my week in full for everyone. It is very cute. I like it. I'm tired just looking at it because I remember what I was feeling that week and I'm back in another 5-day week. So I'm hoping it goes a little bit more smooth than this week did. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.